Yo, what's up guys, drolby here, and today I'm going to show you probably one of the worst traders I saw in my life, and that same trader is way better than all of us because this guy basically made millions out of nothing. So today I'm going to show you trades which he done, and basically you can see from trade to trade how he's adapting and how he's learning, so we can actually learn from him as well. And in this video compared to another one there are some changes. So for example over here I decide that I will show you profit and how much he invested in dollars instead of Ethereum, because Ethereum is changing price, so it's a bit hard to calculate how much exactly they made. So I do believe that this way you're gonna learn way better. So this guy received 179 days ago almost 10,000 Bon Shiba, and he sold it for $16,500, and this is how all of this started. So he was trading for around like 30 days. He was not profitable at all until he found Pepe token and he bought it extremely early. Like you can see over here, he invested $3,800, and in those 3 trades which he done, he bought around 900 billion of Pepe token. But next day he made huge mistake. He went and he sold almost every Pepe token which he had for $5,800, which means he was still in profit $2,000, and he did have some tokens left, but still we all know what Pepe did, and that was like huge mistake. No one knew, of course. And then he realized what he done, and then he started to buy more into Pepe. He was buying for like 10 days, you can see over here, and then he sold it again. So if we take chart and I show you where he was buying and selling, you can see over here that those trades are extremely early and all those sells. And funny thing is that he still made more than $800,000 profit, but if he didn't sell anything and basically if he didn't do this like buying and selling for like 4 pages, and if he sold everything on all-time high, he would have $3.3 million profit out of his 3,800 originally invested. So I know that a lot of you would probably be that is not realistic to expect that someone will sell over here, but this guy was actually smart. He knew what he was doing, I'm sure of it, because he did sold huge bag on all-time high, which means he knew what is seldom used. So basically Pepe got listed on Binance, so basically after that there is nothing better what can happen. Anything else is just like way smaller hype, so this is definitely good point to sell. And until this moment over here, they were like people which made over 50,000x, which means every single dollar which they invested, they would have like $50,000, which means this was expected that after Binance listing, that is extremely good to sell, which of course a lot of good traders used. This guy did it as well. He made insane job. He also like bought this dip, but at the end it was only 800,000 instead of 3 million. Another token which he invested was Voja coin. You probably heard about it. It's like amazing meme. It's not financial advice. I'm not speaking about token. I'm speaking about Voja meme. He invested $6,600 and he take $9,900, which means he made around $3,000 profit, and he sold everything on April 19. If we go over here on our beautiful chart of Wojak, you can see that April 19 was like over here when it slowly started to dump, and you can see where this token went. Of course, he couldn't know this was like full different. Wojak was insane because devs of Wojak sold every single token which they had, every single pre-sale, they all sold it. And basically they died, and then community started to push it, and even those devs started collecting like marketing funds from community because they did admit that they sold everything what they owned. Then we are coming to Harry Potter Obama. Ticker is Bitcoin, and over here he started investing a lot of money. You can see that he invested $50,000, but that's because he was buying and selling a lot. For example, over here he bought only 3 Ethereum. It was extremely good buy. Right now those 3 Ethereum would be worth $500,000, but as always he sold a lot, and then he was buying so many, and then he was buying more, and then he sold again, and then he was buying again. And then over here like 65 days ago he finally like stopped with all those trading. He held his bag for like 1 month, and then Bitcoin like started to moon. You can see over here since then he was only selling and selling, and 2 days ago he actually sold everything what he had. And over here I forgot to delete still hold some because I was doing this research like 2 days ago, but I did calculate how much altogether he made. So from Bitcoin, he invested $50,000 and he took $246,000, which means that he made less than $200,000. But once again, if he only held this one single bug which he bought at the start for only $5,000, he would have $550,000 profit. But also don't forget that Bitcoin is down like 50% and his $550,000 if he sold on all-time high, which is kind of like unrealistic to expect. But if he did sold, he would have like over $1 million, which is absolutely insane. Next bag which he bought into was Milady and he invested $87,000. As you can see over here, he was holding it only for one single day and he fully exited with loss of $40,000. And over here, even though he lost money, he sold it over here, and if he didn't do that, he would probably like lose way more, because when you see it after that, it had one more pump and it basically went down a lot and it never recovered. Another buy, Refund, he invested $168,000. Nothing cool to say about this trade. Basically everything happened in 10 days. He was buying, he was selling, he was buying, he was selling. He sold it for $240,000, which means he did made a really nice bag. If he sold on all-time high, he would have $351,000. No matter what, I think he did amazing job. Then we are coming to spicy tokens. So Unibot, you all heard about it. He invested $3,300 and for that money he got over 14,000 tokens. So over here he did change something. He basically started to sell way slower, so he didn't like dump whole bag in 3 trades, which we saw so far. What he done over here, he was dumping it extremely slowly. You can see like he was dumping like 700 200 tokens, which was like 5% of his whole bag. But over here you can see that he started to dump like way lower amounts, which I do like a lot, even though like this moon after it, but he took profit. You always need to take profits when you can. And over here he transferred to migration 4,500 tokens. So altogether from Unibot V1 before migration happened, he invested $3,300 and he took profit of $94,000. Then he migrated, like I said, 4,500 tokens, and 1 week after he bought another 600 tokens for price of $17,000. And as you can see over here, another like 20 days he didn't do anything, and then he started to dump like 200 tokens a time. And over here you can see he's doing that until today, and today he's still holding $421,000 worth of Unibot, or 3,000 Unibot. And so far in all these sales which you saw in a V2 contract, he took $300,000 profit, which means that altogether he invested like $23,000 and so far he took $400,000 profit and still having that many in holdings. Now last trade before I show you how much altogether this guy made and how much he has in his wallet. So his last huge trade was drolby, and he invested $178,000 in it. Like you can see over here, he never sold a single token, and this is how much all his tokens are worth right now. Of course this needs to be updated because tokens is changing price all the time. So right now he has $470,000, and like you can see over here, this guy finally like learned that he should probably wait a bit more because he does have extremely good entries. But now is also like different scenario, because when he started trading he had only like $10,000, and right now when you have like million, you don't really care about like taking initials. And now when we are done with everything, I will show you how much this guy made. So he started with $16,000, and in only like 4 months this guy went to $1,342,000. So far his biggest bag is in drolby, this is casino, and he's having almost $500,000 over there. Unibot $394,000, Shia $269,000, OX $91,000, and over here are rest of the tokens which he has like decent holdings in it. And don't forget to go and watch my other videos because there is plenty of videos like this and we can always learn something new.